Hey guys, Fix It John here. We got a refrigerator that's not cooling. The freezer is getting cold, but the refrigerator is not cooling. So the top two fixes on this is defrost thermostat and a run capacitor. So we're gonna diagnose those things, and there's a few other things that could be wrong. The coils could be dirty, but I'm thinking that it's maybe a run capacitor or a thermostat, and I'm going to check those out and I'll show you how to do that. So what we got here is a Whirlpool Gold. We've got our money's worth out of it, but I don't want to spend another $1,400 bucks. I'd rather spend 23 bucks for a defrost thermostat, or I think 43 for a run capacitor. Alright, I'll just show you one on takeoff. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 of these screws to take out of here. Alright guys, we're back behind the refrigerator. I've got the cover off. Things we can eliminate: the fan right there. The fan's running, so that motor's working fine. It's a little dirty back here. I'll vacuum it out, but this is the run capacitor here. We'll need to get that off of there, and it's right there on the compressor. Let's see if that compressor feels like it's running. So if that's running, I can... It shouldn't be that capacitor. The back left side, here's the compressor, and this is the run capacitor right here. There's like a little wire that's holding it in. So you just take this little wire, pick it up, and just let it fall back, get it out of the way. It's hooked to the bottom here. If you can, let me pan down a little bit. See, it's just hooked to the metal there. So you want to hold this, turn our setting down here to read microfarads. Change value there. So we're at 0 right now. We should read 12. Okay, we got 12.4 microfarads, so we're well within range. This sucker's working great. There's a little note I left myself. We bought this in 7/28/07, and we installed it here at the house in 07/7/29. So okay guys, we're going to go ahead and check this start device here. We checked the capacitor, it's good. We're going to check this start device. Just pry this sucker off like that. And all this is a relay here. Pull that out. And if you hear a rattle in it, which I do, it may not be good. But we're going to take this to the bench and test for continuity. But usually you saw that the condensing fan motor was working earlier. So chances are this is the start device is good. But remember, the condensing fan was running earlier. It's usually on the same circuit as the compressor. So if this is good, then the fan should run also, because it all runs. All right guys, what I could gather here to test the run windings on the start device, you want to put your leads in here, and you should get anywhere between 1 and 12 ohms. And this is in 5 and 6 hole. So we've got 5.5, and if now doing a direct connect to the motor, should get 0.1 and 0.02 ohms, 0.01 and 0.02. So this is good. It does have a little rattle to it, but I don't think anything in there is broken. So let's get the, let's put the run capacitor back in. I'm thinking it's more the thermostat, the defrost thermostat, and you just put it in and push it through this hole here. Take this. You've got your run capacitor and your startup device back on here. Then you plug that back into your compressor. Take your little hold down bracket and put it back up here to hold your run capacitor and your startup device. Now, like I said, if the fan's running, the compressor should be running too, because it is running on the same circuit. It comes off the same circuit here. This red and white wire, one of them runs up to the circuit board, and then it runs back down here to the fan. There it is. So we know the capacitor and the run device is working. See the fan on when hear the compressor? And see the fan running? So we know everything down here is working. Alright guys, this is what I found behind the ice tray. Big cube of ice, frost. And that's a sign that either the, we saw that the condensing fan was working. So that's a sign that the evaporator fan or the defrost thermostat is not working. So let's get this back off and see what we got. I'm going to take all these shelves out because the, alright guys, all I have here is a Phillips screwdriver, and I'm going to take these racks out here. Alright guys, I got one more thing. I've got the shelves out and the racks, and that was all with a Phillips screwdriver. So now it's really not a big deal. Taking the light out. Now here's the evaporator fan. I'm going to plug it in, and if that's not working, then it's the evaporator fan too. Or just the evaporator fan. That's one reason that could keep the refrigerator from being cold, is if that fan's not working. Alright guys, I'm going to plug it in and see if we can see if that fan's going. That'll eliminate that if that's working, that evaporator fan. Give it a minute. And that fan's not spinning. Baby should be spinning. See, the lines are starting to get cold already. You can't see that, but they're getting cold. There it goes. There's fans going on. Okay, so the fan's working. Next thing I want to test, guys, is the defrost thermostat, and that baby sits right here. And let me explain something to you. The reason why the refrigerator's not getting cold is, I believe, because the defrost thermostat's not working, and it could be the heating element too. But what happens is this all freezes up, and it's not able to draw any cold air up through there into the refrigerator. This could be another reason why it's not cooling good. See all that dirt and gross? Yeah, very disgusting there. I vacuumed that part right there. That's why it's clean. Hey guys, Fix-It John here. I just happen to have a air gun and 300 psi air hose I can blow the refrigerator out with. Alright, I'm going to get behind it and blow it out. do the best I can here. That could have been the problem right there, guys. All that lint. Of course, I know nobody else has lint like that under their refrigerator, but if you do, you can't get in between all those vents, so I'm taking my air hose, my air gun. Of course, I know the rich kids down the street never accumulate this kind of dust under their fridge. All right, guys. There's a little plug back here. There's one way to replace that, and that's to chop the lines, and then you test and replace it. But there's a plug back here, and it has a piece of tape on it. See that plug right there? Right here. There's a piece of tape under there holding that there. So I want to take that tape off. Right there, you see that piece of tape right? Alright guys, I got that plug off. I just wanted to show you before I went any further. There's a little latch on the bottom. See that piece of tape there? That was help holding it down, but there's a little latch. You just pull that out. Now, I'm going to do a continuity test with it hooked to that, so I don't have to cut that wire in case it's still good. But some of them are like this one. It's a no-brainer. Only fits one way on there. All right, guys. I marked the power electric black with a black line there. This one here, I said was the only one, so that was a no-brainer. But I found another one here that's identical, so I marked it too, so I know where it goes. Guys, Fix It John here. While that defrost thermostat is freezing up to see if it'll close, I'm going to check the thermistor, and that records the temperature of the refrigerator. So we'll check that and see if that's good too. So I'm going to take these two screws out. Without breaking it, something. Okay. And there. And there's the thermistor right there. It had this, it's a vent, door vent. I didn't want to bust that. The thermistor is right here. Unplug it. Should be a simple test. Unplug it right here. This is on the Whirlpool Gold. Here's the thermistor right there, guys. This is supposed to have some sort of oh, it does. 15.2 degrees Celsius, so yeah, that water's 1 degree Celsius. This defrost thermostat should be closing. I should get a reading out of that. Continuity reading. Alright guys, according to what I read when it was, so you would subtract the 7.4 to the 15.2 and you should have like 7 degrees when this thing should close. So I'm gonna freeze it overnight and see if it closes, and we'll check it tomorrow. Alright guys, Fix It Gentleman here. My defrost thermostat is frozen in a cup of water, and what we're looking for is continuity. So we're going to do a simple continuity test, see how cold it is Celsius. As I read, it had to be like 7 degrees Celsius, so we're 1 degree. The contacts in here should have closed, and if it's working properly, we'll hear a beep. So we're on continuity, so let's touch the wires and see what we get. Should hear a beep. No beep. So this that tells me this thermostat, defrost thermostat, is bad. Also, yesterday I tested the thermistor, and that monitors the temperature of the refrigerator to activate the fan, and that was acting erratically. So that wasn't. It was working, but not at the proper range. So I'm going to order a thermistor and a defrost thermometer, a defrost thermostat. All right, guys, there we are at 8 Fahrenheit. It's 32 degrees Celsius. We're at 0 Celsius. So the thermistor is it's operating but not in the proper range. So we'll replace that and the thermostat, the defrost thermostat. And yeah, it's possible. I'll test the new product when I get it and see if there's a difference. Hey guys, Fix It John back at you. I bought a new thermistor. That was I paid $33.05 for that, and I got a new defrost thermostat, and I paid had to go to a different store, $34.51 for that one. Grand total for both of them, plus an hour on the road, $67.56. I could have gotten both these parts, but it would have been a couple, wouldn't have gotten it a couple, 2 or 3 days, and I could have paid a total of $55.99. And that was at Appliance Parts Pro. But we needed it right away. We don't have any food in the refrigerator, so. I'm, however, gonna test my thermistor, and we'll see if we get a different reading. The old one, at room temperature, 75 degrees, it reads that so you can see it. 2.75 ohms. So I had read that it should be 8. I'm gonna try my new one. I definitely am confident that the defrost thermostat is bad, because I could not get it to make contact and make a complete circuit. That was an open circuit. Factory certified parts, Whirlpool Corp. So I looked online, I looked on Amazon. They had some repops, and I did not want to get any aftermarket stuff. So I'm not crushing this, I just getting this to hold it on there very lightly. So let's try this one out and see what it reads. 2.67, so I want to say the thermistor was good. All right, the new thermistor, it stopped climbing at, well, it's still going up slowly, 8.28. The old one is still climbing 7.09, 10, so I would say they're both good. The thermistors are good, but we're going to use the new one. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and throw this in the freezer just to prove my point. Hopefully I'll get continuity when it reaches a certain temperature. I have a freezer out in the garage while I put the other stuff back together. So at 73 degrees, 68 degrees, I'm going to just check for continuity. And then we're going to throw it in the freezer and see what it does. See if we can get continuity after it reaches a certain temperature. Okay, it's OL. No resistance. No continuity. So hey guys, Fix It John here. We're out here in the garage freezer. And the freezer's 35 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's 3 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees Celsius. So we're going to see if we have continuity with the defrost thermostat. And that's how these are designed to work. When it reaches a certain temperature, they close. So there you have it. That's the fix for the Whirlpool Gold. Guys, Fix It John here. Santa brought me these. I've been asking him for these solder seal wire connectors, so you don't have to use the pinch type, and they come undone and after vibration. So this will be the first time I've used these. I'm kind of excited about it. But what it is it's a heat shrink type deal, and this is solder right here. And you heat that up and it solders these wires together. So we'll put that in there. Okay, we're gonna splice them, intertwine them together here. That way the solder will run together there and solder it all together. This looks like the heating element right here, guys. See it moving right there? That's what defrosts your evaporator coils and allows the ice to melt so the cold air can be sucked up through over the coils and up into the refrigerator. So we know it's not the heating element. It's the defrost thermostat, not commanding the heating element on. Let me show you the heating element here. That can go bad too, but very rarely. Here it is. Let me point to it here. My hand's in the way. Right here. It's just like a burner, like an oven burner you'd find, or a broiler burner on in your stove in your oven. Similar to that, and it hooks up right there. Comes right. Careful with this sucker, because it will cut you up. Da, 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 da. Alright guys, we're going to plug it in and see if she runs. There it is, voila! Let's hope it gets cold now. If all the lights aren't coming on, stuff like that, it could be the circuit board, because from what I read, that's what happens. Guys, Fix It John here. We're going to see what the temperature is. It's been a day and a half since I fixed the refrigerator, and my wife's got enough confidence to buy some groceries again. So let's see what it is here in the refrigerator now. 36, 37 degrees. Right there, the milk's 33, 38. Let's see what the freezer is. Alright guys, the freezer's 15, 13 degrees roughly. So it seems to be working good. So I did check some other things out. I think I would focus, if you have a freezer freezing, icing up, with no cold refrigerator, I think I would focus in on the defrost thermostat, because once again, I don't know if I explained it well enough. The evaporator coils, if the defrost thermostat is not working, the evaporator coils freeze up, and it doesn't allow the evaporator fan, to pull up any cold air through the coils and into the refrigerator. Make sure that you're getting continuity, because what happens is when you're getting continuity, it completes the circuit and allows the heating coil to heat and defrost the evaporator coils. So with no continuity, as you saw earlier, it wasn't allowing that connection. The Thermistor I replaced was good. I'll show you that, even though it didn't need it, but that's one cause too that can cause your refrigerator not to cool, because it's not sending a signal to the fan to tell it to turn on to cool the refrigerator. So I hope this helped. If this helped just one person, like and subscribe, and give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.